everyone. This is Barry O'Brien here on Seaview Radio, and as always, I am with West Palm Beach Mayor Jerry Moyo in her office here in downtown West Palm Beach.
Good morning, Barry.
Well, good morning. We want to thank our friends at Cosmo and Company for allowing us to come into your office every week. And this has been a busy week for you. Tell us a little bit about your trip to Tallahassee. What went on up there?
It was very busy. We drove up Saturday afternoon and got there, or not Saturday, Monday afternoon, got there in the evening. And then all day Tuesday.
No private jet?
No, no.
You had to drive up?
We drove up 6 hours. And all day Tuesday, we met with people. We had 12 appointments in one day.
Wow.
Which is really quite amazing.
I hope they were all in one building.
Of course not. They were all over. And I think that there was one security checkpoint we went through 5 times. So we were all over the Capitol and even went over to FDOT. So we were very busy. We spoke with lots of folks. Really, the only people in our delegation we spoke with Representative Rooney, who's the chair of our delegation, and we spoke with Senator Negron. Everybody else were people we couldn't see down here. Mm-hmm. So we talked with the chairs of both the Senate and the House Appropriations Committee. We talked with people from FDOT. We talked with people from the DEP. We had a few consistent themes. One, of course, was State Road 7, and we had a lot of good conversations about that. We are also talking about the bill that's going forward on sober houses, the regulation of sober houses. So we talked to several representatives and senators about that. Broadway corridor, getting some money to revamp Broadway, and pension reform. Those were sort of the big ideas that we talked to most people about.
Sounds like a busy trip.
It was very busy and very good. Everybody was very welcoming and really took time to listen to us. I felt well listened to.
Mm-hmm. Now, when you were mentioning State Road 7, I know that the city is opposed to its location there, just to the east of Ibis. Do you get into discussions of what other locations should be on that, or could be? Because obviously, with the growth that's going on out west, there is a need for a north-south road, even if it's not located there.
One of the things that the Army Corps of Engineers has suggested is that the FDOT take a look at 130th Street. And so we have supported the Army Corps recommendation to take a look at 130th Street as an alternative to, and rather than referring to it as east of Ibis, I'd like to talk about it as adjacent to our water catchment area, because that's what concerns us, that they're going to build a road right adjacent to our water catchment area. And we met with Senator Negron, who has just been able to get $150 million to focus on the Indian River Lagoon because of the runoff from the roads there. Now, if we build State Road 7, 20 years from now, 30 years from now, 50 years from now, we're going to be looking for more money to deal with cleaning up grassy waters, which is a pristine remnant of the Everglades.
Right. Now, while we're on the subject of that area, I do have to give you a pat on the back, and you and I have discussed this several times, but I live out in that area. I live out in Ibis, and I'll tell you, the improvement on Northlake Avenue, or Northlake Boulevard, is amazing. I think when we first moved out there, which was only about a year and a half ago, the bridge was under construction and whatever, and now you see landscaping there, you see where it's been filled in. You're never happy that things never seem to go as quickly as you would like, but if you can take a little snapshot on your mind and look back a year and a half, there's been some very good improvements.
It's definitely better. We also have hired an outside landscaping contractor to focus on Northlake specifically, and I think that has helped a lot. We've done some new plantings. We're trying to take a different approach with planting grasses and to see how that's going to, see if that will work. And, you know, we have people out there 3 times a week picking up garbage. And we could be there every day, because
I know, it's the trash trucks that go by.
the trash trucks
One
go
thing
by.
that's good, though, is that they're mowing the lawn so frequently,
Yes.
it mulches the trash. So
Yeah.
if there's a if there's a styrofoam cup there,
Well,
it gets all shredded up and it doesn't
And
look
I just
quite
want
as
to
bad.
remind your listeners, if they do see trash or if they see anything of concern, to call 822-2222. Let us know about what they see and where it is, and we can follow up on it.
Excellent. What's the story with the police chief? I know that you're in the throes of looking. We talked last week about it. You were leaning towards finding somebody from within. Any update on that?
Not really. We have appointed an interim police chief, Brian Cummerland. He's currently assistant police chief, and we're going to, we're going to consider all options. I continue to believe that's moving someone from within into that position is probably the best thing for the department and for the city. But we're gonna, I'm a thinker, so I'll think about a lot of different options and talk to a lot of different people, and I think we'll come down to a good decision.
Mm-hmm. I've heard you and the police chief mention on several occasions that it's a real challenge in filling police vacancies because there's a lot of competition out there with a lot of higher salaries and other benefits in other areas. I'm wondering, are there any other positions within the city of West Palm Beach that are a challenge for you to fill?
That's a really great question. We see, particularly in maybe less talking about filling them, but losing good people. For example, in our IT department, we've lost some good people to the private sector where they can get significantly more money. Even in our engineering department, we've lost good people to private sector where they can get more money. Some of our inspectors are in the building department have gone to the private sector. So yeah, we have absolutely seen that. We're in the process of looking for a new city attorney. I think that's going to be a challenge because of our salary range for city attorney. So I really do think we need to take a close look at our salary ranges at some point in the near future.
Very good. We're going to take a short break after this message from Cosmo and Company, and we will be back. We are back. I'm Barry O'Brien. We're here with West Palm Beach Mayor Jerry Moyo from her office in downtown West Palm here on CV Radio. A lot of talk about baseball. It's the end of spring training this week. I know my Baltimore Orioles are opening up on Monday up in Baltimore. Still lots of talk about spring training facilities down here in South Florida. What's the prospects for West Palm Beach? Are we in the running here? Do we have an opportunity? I remember reading something a few months ago where somebody wanted to do something downtown, and I immediately think of a miniature Camden Yards by the train station, and saying, "Oh, this is great."
That would be wonderful. I'd like that. I don't think we'll be doing anything downtown. There's just not enough property to do a proper stadium. We are talking with people, the Nationals and the Astros, about a two-team stadium. We have some property out on Haverhill in 45th. That's about 160 acres. And so we've been talking with them. It's really going to be driven by the county and the county commission and what they would like to do. From what I understand, they continue to be interested. It's important to them because at Roger Dean, where we have the Marlins and the Cardinals, they have in their contract, from what I understand, that they have to be in a place where there are other teams for
That's
them,
correct, yes.
for them to be there. So it's really in the best interest of the county to pursue at least one additional team and probably even better 2 additional teams. So I think the county is going to be looking at this. We have property. We'd like to see it in our city on our Haverhill property. We think it would be a good match. So all the parties are talking. Like, I know the county's considering other properties. I know the teams are looking at other properties. So, you know, by no means is it a slam dunk.
Right,
Mixed,
right.
Mixed sports there.
There's
you
been
know.
a lot of movement out towards the Grapefruit League out the Cactus League in Arizona, and that's something that if we lose too many other teams out there, it's going to be gone. You know, when you think back to years ago, spring training was a major tourist thing here, and while it's big now, it's nowhere near as big a percentage. People come here for a lot of other things.
What I heard today was that in Arizona, you can see 8 teams in a day.
Yes.
Here, it would take you a week to see 8 teams.
Right. Right.
So we're nowhere near what they're talking about. But if we could have 4 teams in Palm Beach County with a 5th, what is it, the Mets that's in
They're up in
north?
Port St. Lucie.
Yeah.
Right.
So that would be 5 teams within, you know, an hour or so. That would be good.
Because the big difference is they're only in Arizona. We're in South Florida.
I know.
So
and
we
we
win.
have water.
Maybe they have more teams. But we're in South Florida. Barrett Jackson and Sunfest are on their way. Those have got to be big tourist draws and revenue generators for West Palm Beach. I love Barrett Jackson. It's
Yeah,
like
it's
the best, whatever it costs, $10 or something, it is the best $10 ticket out there. I just love going to that.
Well, you know, they're revenue generators for the businesses in West Palm Beach. I don't want anybody to think that the city's making money off of these. They're both private events. And they're privately run. You know, of course, we have permit fees and things like that, depending on where they are and what they're doing. But it brings people to our city, which is really important to the merchants and the folks who have businesses here. And, you know, we're happy to have them.
Exactly. What's your next big initiative as mayor?
Well,
You've got to have something near and dear to your heart.
well, there's a couple of things that we're working on. I just left a meeting of a group that we're putting together as a result of an initiative called Cities United that's being led by the National League of Cities and U.S. Conference of Mayors. That is focusing on addressing violent crime in the communities of color with young men of color. And I really
That's the meeting that you went to in New Orleans.
Right, and so now we're translating that to
Right.
what it's going to look like in West Palm Beach. So we're working with a really great group of people, talking about how we can be talking about hope for young men of color, hope that they will have a life that doesn't include incarceration, hope that they'll live beyond the age of 20 or 21, hope that they'll have a job. So we're working with some really powerful people on that, from the Urban League, from the school district, from the health department, because we really do see violence as a public health issue. So that's exciting. We're in the process of getting our budget rolled out. We're going to do some different things on the rollout of the budget this year so that we get more participation from the public on how they would like to see us spend their money. So I'm looking forward to that. And a few other things that we're working on.
A few other things up your sleeve, huh? What has surprised you? Now, you were a commissioner.
Right.
City commissioner, and you became mayor. Now, obviously, as commissioner, you were aware of a lot of things going on in the city, and Lois Frankel was the mayor, right?
Right.
So you probably thought you had a pretty good idea of what it was like to be mayor, but I bet there's a few surprises. What surprised you the most? That maybe if you were now a commissioner, you'd go, gee, I never thought of it that way.
I think the intensity, and one of the things that Lois said to me when I decided to run for mayor, she said, being mayor is like getting run over by a truck over and over and over again. And every day you come to work, there's something that you're not expecting. And I think just the constant intensity of everything is I think that's probably the thing I didn't really think about.
I wonder if she's finding it any different in Congress. Maybe she's just getting run over by different trucks.
Yeah. I think I think it's different because you don't have the scrutiny. You know, West Palm Beach is under a microscope all of the time. You know, other county, the constitutional offices, any other municipality, a police chief leaves, a police chief leaves. You never read about it, you never hear about it. Ours, it takes 3 days in the newspaper to talk about it. So
Right.
it's just,
Here we are, weeks later, still talking about it.
yeah.
I want to thank you for your time. We're here in Mayor Jerry Moyo's office in downtown West Palm Beach. I'm Barry O'Brien on CB Radio, and thank you for listening.
Thank you, Barry.